Good afternoon, students. And so today we're going to do Chapter 8, which is going to be about pronouns from the Betty Azar book. So hold on to your seats as I go over pronouns today. So let's find the Betty Azar book, and I will share my screen. So let's get to Chapter 8, pronouns. So what is a pronoun? A pronoun replaces a noun. So we're going to go over personal pronouns. We're going to go over reflexive pronouns. And so let's start with pronouns. So subject pronoun, I, you, she, it, we, you, they, always occurs before the verb. An object pronoun, me, you, her, him, it, you, us, and them, always occurs after the verb. A possessive pronoun is when you want to show the possession. Mine, yours, his, hers, it's, ours, yours, theirs. A possessive adjective, my name, your name, his and her and its name, our names, your names, and their names. So a possessive adjective is a pronoun used as an adjective to show who owns the product or who owns the thing. I read a book. It was good. And so it is the pronoun that replaces the antecedent book. I read some books. They is a plural pronoun that replaces the antecedent books. And so the pronoun has to agree in name and gender. So here it agrees in number, okay, number and gender. Here it's a singular book, so therefore you have a singular pronoun, and then you have plural books, you have a plural pronoun. And so here a pronoun is used in place of a noun. The noun it refers to is called the antecedent. The pronoun it refers to the antecedent noun, book. So book is the antecedent to it. Books and they. I like tea. Do you like tea too? John has a car. He drives to work. So in this case, John is the antecedent, and it agrees in gender, he. And so here you have a subject pronoun, because the subject pronoun he, she, he, it, we, you, they occurs before the verb, whereas him, her, me, you is an object pronoun that occurs after the verb. I know him well. And so object pronouns are used as objects of verbs or as the objects of prepositions. I talk to him every day. So to him is the object of the preposition to. The book is hers. Yours is over there. Possessive pronouns are not followed immediately by a noun. They stand alone. Possessive pronouns do not take apostrophes. So you don't say the book is hers. So you always say the book is hers, no apostrophe. Her book is here. Your book is over there. Possessive adjectives are followed immediately by a noun. So her book, their book, my book, his book. So that is a possessive adjective. A bird uses its wings to fly. It has no apostrophe when it is used as a possessive. So a bird uses its wings to fly is incorrect because it' stands for it is. It's cold today. So it stands for it is. So it has nothing to do with possessives. So personal, how would you use a personal pronoun? This is my umbrella. Your umbrella is over there. This umbrella is mine. The other one is yours. Mary and Bob have their books. In other words, Mary has hers and Bob has his. A honeybee has two wings on each side of no apostrophe s, its body. It is true that a homing pigeon will find its way home, even though it begins its trip in an unfamiliar territory. I have a pet. Its name is Squeak. It is, so apostrophe S, a turtle. It has been my pet for 2 years. Our house is almost the same as our neighbor's house. So our neighbor's house. The only difference is in appearance, is that ours is gray and theirs is white. When I was in Florida, I observed an interesting fish-eating bird called an anhinga. It dives into the water and spears its prey on its pointed bill. So you get the idea of how to use it, and its. So when you have a possessive adjective, then you have mine, you have, then it stands by itself. And if you have, let me go back. So if you have a possessive pronoun, mine, yours, hers, his, its, ours, yours, theirs, that can stand alone. This book is mine. This book is yours. This book is hers. This book is his. This book is ours. This book is yours. This book is theirs. So when you have a possessive pronoun, it can stand alone. Possessive adjective always comes right before the noun. So my book, your book, hers, his, its book, our book, your book, their book. So that's a possessive adjective, while possessive pronoun can stand alone. So that's the difference between all the different pronouns. So a subject pronoun comes before the verb, I, you, she, it, me, we, you, they. An object pronoun comes after the verb, me, you, her, him, it, us, you, them. A possessive pronoun stands alone and comes after the noun. The book is mine. The book is yours. And then the possessive adjective, the possessive adjective comes before the noun. My book, your book. So those are the different kinds of pronouns that you can use in Chapter 8. So personal pronouns, agreement with generic pronouns, generic nouns, and indefinite pronouns. A student walked into the room. She was looking for the teacher. A student walked into the room. He was looking for the teacher. A student should always do his homework. A student should always do his or her assignments. A student should always do his or her assignments. Then if you have plural students, you would say students should always do their assignments. And for all of these, you use his or her. Everyone does his or her homework. Everybody does his or her homework. Everything, his or her. So here you have all of them, his or her. And so formal English, but in modern day English these days, people are now using their instead of his and her in order to be gender neutral. And so nowadays it's trendy to say a student has done their assignments. A student should always do their assignments. A student should always do that sort of thing. So everything has become there these days. But old-fashioned grammar books still adhere to, if it's a singular noun, then the pronoun that replaces a singular antecedent would be his or her. And then if it's a plural noun, like students, then you use their. That would be down here. Personal pronouns, agreement with collective nouns. This has to do with subject-verb agreement. Remember when I said that something is one entity? And if something is a unit or one entity, then it becomes a singular verb. So audience is, class is, committee is, couple is, crowd is, the faculty is great, the family is large, the government is corrupt, the group is fun, the public is informed and educated, the staff is qualified, the team is competent. So all of these collective nouns are one entity and takes a singular noun. So that's all you have to remember. And then when a collective noun refers to individual members, then it becomes plural. And so here, my family is large. It is composed of 9 members. So when a collective noun refers to a single unit, then we use it and is. If a collective noun refers to a collection of various individuals, then we use a plural pronoun, they, them, and their. My family is loving and supportive. They are always ready to help me. So if you're going to talk about different family members, we use they. If you're going to talk about the family as a whole, then you use it as your pronoun. Reflexive pronoun means is something that you do to yourself. Myself, yourself, herself, himself, itself, oneself. Then plural, ourselves, yourselves, themselves. So Larry was in the theater. I saw him. I talked to him. I saw myself in the mirror. I looked at myself in the mirror. So a reflexive pronoun, so all of these with self are known as reflexive pronouns. A reflexive pronoun is used as the object of a verb or preposition when the subject of the sentence and the object are the same person. So I and myself are the same person. Reflective pronouns, reflexive, are used for emphasis. The speaker would say, I myself, strongly with emphasis. The emphatic reflexive pronoun can immediately follow a noun or pronoun, as in the end of a clause. So, I saw myself in the mirror. I look at myself in the mirror. So I and myself, when it's the same person, then it's a reflexive verb. Are you sure? Yes. I myself faxed the report to him. I myself read the book. So I myself know exactly what's going on. So when I use I myself, that's used for emphasis. I faxed the report to him myself. You could tell this is an old book. It's more like I emailed the report to him. These days would be I texted the report or message myself. That's how I would, this is a very old book. But anyway, so whenever you use myself, I myself, he himself, she herself, they themselves, you are using it for emphasis. Tommy told a lie. He was ashamed of himself. Masuko cut herself while she was chopping vegetables. People surround themselves with friends. Rita is careful about her weight, but she allows herself 1 piece of candy a day. Alex, you need to eat better and get more exercise. You should take better care of yourself. Your father takes care of himself, and I take care of myself. Your father and I are healthy because we take care of ourselves. People who take care of themselves have a better chance of staying healthy than those who don't. Omar thinks Oscar is telling the truth. So does Ricardo. I myself don't believe Oscar's story for a minute. So that's how you would use myself, himself, that kind of stuff. And then Karen Williams never took lessons. She taught herself how to play the piano. Did Roberto have a good time at the party? Did he himself get entertained? All of you did a good job. You should be proud of yourselves. So you have to figure out which one of these goes into these sentences. Okay, using one and they. So when I say that you could use one is the most impersonal of all the pronouns. So if you want to talk in very formal English, then instead of saying I went to the theater, you would say one went to the theater. Instead of saying we went to the store, you would say one went to the store. So when you replace first, second person case with one, you're creating a more formal English. And then when you are writing to your teacher or when you are writing to people at work, then you use one. So one should always be polite. One should always, and one is a lot more formal than you. One should take care of one's health. One should take care of his health. One should take care of his or her health. Or one should take care of their health. So when we use one and we replace first and second person case with one, then we have a much more formal tone for our English. Other. Another, other. So forms of other are used as either adjectives or pronouns. And so here you have another book, other books, another is, others are. The other book is, the other books are. The other is, the others are. The students in the class come from many countries. One of the students is from Mexico. Another student is from Iraq. Another is from Japan. Other students are from Brazil. Yet others are from Algeria. So the meaning of another, one more in addition to the one already mentioned. The meaning of other and others without the, several more in addition to the one already mentioned. I have 3 books. 2 are mine. The other book is yours. The other is yours. I have 3 books. 1 is mine. The other books are yours. The others are yours. So the meaning of the other, all that remains from a given number, the rest of a specific group. I will be here for another 3 years. I need another $5. We drove another 10 miles. Another is used as an adjective with expressions of time, money, and distance. Even if these expressions contain plural nouns, another means in addition, in additional in these expressions. So let's see. Look at your hand. You have 5 fingers. One is your thumb, another one is your middle finger, yet another is your ring finger, and your other finger, the last of the 5, is your little finger. Look at your hands. One is your right hand, the other is your left hand. I invited 5 people to my party. Of those 5 people, only John and Mary can come. The others can't come. I invited 5 people to my party. Of those 5 people, only John and Mary can come. The other people can't come. So that's how we use the other, another. So in other words, you're adding more and more people. I have a book. I have another book. The other book is on my bookshelf. Yet another book is on my desk. So if I keep mentioning different books, then I would use another and the other and other and other, meaning more and more and more of something. So here are more other. We write to each other every week. We write to one another every week. Each other and one another indicates a reciprocal relationship. Please write on every other line. I see her every other week. Every other can give the idea of alternate. Have you seen Ally recently? Yes, I saw him the other day. The other is used in time expressions such as the other day, the other morning, the other week to refer to the recent past. The duckling walked in a line behind the mother duck. Then the mother duck slipped into the pond. The ducklings followed her. They slipped into the water one after the other. They slipped into the water one after another. And so here, in one after the other, expresses the idea that separate actions occur very close in time. In one after the other has the same meaning as one after the other. No one knows my secret other than Rosa. No one knows my secret except for Rosa. So in other then is usually used after a negative to mean except and has the same meaning. Fruit and vegetables are full of vitamins and minerals. In other words, they are good for you. In other words is used to explain, usually in simpler or clearer terms, the meaning of the preceding sentence. So here's some examples. One of the countries I would like to visit is Sweden. The other is Mexico. Of course, besides these 2 countries, There are many other places I would like to see. Louis and I have been friends for a long time. We've known each other since we were children. I talk to Sam every other day. In the Southwest, there is a large area of land that has little or no rainfall, no trees, and very few plants other than cactuses. In other words, this area of the country is a desert. Thank you for inviting me to the picnic. I'd like to go with you, but I've already made other plans. Some people are tall, others are short. Some people are fat, others are thin. Some people are nearsighted, other people are farsighted. Mr. and Mrs. J love each other. They support each other. They like each other. And in other words, they are a happily married couple. How often do you travel to Portland? Every other month. I go there to visit my grandmother in a nursing home. Could I borrow your pen? I need to write a check, but I have nothing to write with other than this pencil. My niece Kathy ate one cookie after another until she finished the whole box. That's why she had a stomachache. So that's the picture. I used to do that as a kid, by the way. So here's more about each other and other. So I think that this is nearing at the end of this chapter. I could tell because they're doing all of these review stuff. Yep, I was right. And so that ends this video on pronouns. So that ends this video about pronouns. So now you know so much more about pronouns that you ever wanted to know about. And so if you have any questions, you can always feel free to email me.